Harness Central today is here with John Smith from Woodland, Ontario, and we're going to talk about possibly the best 2-year-old trotting colt in North America, Buckham's Bay. John, last night, Buckham's Bay made it look ridiculously easy in winning the Ontario Sire Stake Gold event.
But does he have enough step to catch Buckham's Bay? Buckham's Bay, 2 lengths clear, now 3 lengths clear, and it's all Buckham's Bay, and Shaka Bear has not lifted a line. Buckham's Bay is going to win the $130,000 Ontario Sire Stakes Gold Final, and he was a wrapped-up winner over Imperial Count. A closing third was holding...
First of all, Buckham's Bay, the name, it comes from where you live in Ottawa. It's a bay on the Ottawa River, correct?
Yes, it's right. It's just off the Ottawa Bay. There's a Constance Bay and Buckham's Bay. They run side by side, and you can throw a stone across from the one side of Constance Bay to Buckham's Bay practically.
You're hardly a stranger to the racing game. You've had a steady parade of brothers and sisters to this fellow out of Merle's Image, yes, who's 23 now. And I guess let's talk about last night's race first of all. As I say, he made it look ridiculously easy. What was your impression of the way he did it?
I thought he raced awful good too. Especially, I thought there was a fairly strong headwind leaving. It might have seemed like the track's a little slow, but I think there was a pretty good wind there that affected a bit. But I thought he raced awful good. He got to the front before the turn, which I thought was good. And then coming home, he finished strong too, in spite of not a real strong wind, but a fairly strong wind. It made the second quarter go a little faster because the wind was on their back for the second quarter. But I thought he raced awful good. Yeah.
We were talking before about his size. He looks like he has been thrown towards the balanced image. He's a big boy. You said over 16 hands. But the way he trots, it's just effortless.
Yeah, he moves he's a very fluid way of going or something. He doesn't waste a lot of energy. I don't know, a lot of people have said the same thing. They've noticed he's very smooth his gait is very smooth. And he's a big colt, so he should just get better with age, I would think, you know.
He's as we say, a big lad, but he's just so relaxed in the race for being such a young horse and a colt.
Oh yes, he's very relaxed. Like, I mean, if I wanted to stop in the middle of a race, I think him just stand there, I think he'd be just happy to just stop. I think he's a very, very relaxed big horse.
We talked last week, and we had a report on the Harness Edge website that an offer had come through of a little over $300,000, and you said thanks, but no thanks. How do you feel now about what his future is with you?
Well, I always felt he had a good future. I felt very confident with him, and I had mixed feelings whether I'd sell him or not. You know, I had very mixed feelings, but I thought, and different people wanted me to put a price on him. I never really put a price on him. I said, but you know, if someone makes me an offer, I'd certainly be open, you know. And I said, and I've been getting some pretty decent offers, you know. They've got me thinking a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe.
If you were a betting man, which I know you are, will you own him in 2 months?
I really don't. I don't even think about that much. If someone comes along, like I mean, he could be sold tomorrow, or he could be mine for quite a long time. I really don't think a lot about it. If someone gives me the right offer, I'll seriously consider it. And I'll make up my mind probably in 2 minutes. You know, right. Once I decide.
You're heading home here in a few hours back to the Ottawa area. What is next for him, other than a good sleep at home tonight?
I think his next race is in Grand River, and I was worried a little bit about the long trip back and forth twice in a week for a colt that's not used to it, but he seems to come through it fine, you know. Like, I mean, when you're a long trip, like 7 hours one way, like 7 hours up and back, you know, and it throws them off their meals a little because you can't feed them the same in the trailer, and I was a little bit worried about that and him not being used to it, but he's a pretty relaxed horse, so he's adjusting pretty fast. Like, he'll be off his food for a day or two, and a little day or so when he goes home, but he's right back again pretty well, and he's like, I wish I had another week or so to spare in between the next week because it's going to be another long haul, but I guess he has to adjust, and I think he'll be fine.
You know this family better than anyone, having trained them all. McCooey and Merle's Pearl and Magoo and Potato Race and so forth. At this stage of the game, how do you feel this fellow stacks up against that lot?
I know my driver, Jock, he's ecstatic about this horse.
Jockey Bear.
Jockey Bear, he thinks he's the best, without question. He thinks, and he was pretty high on the others too, but he's really high on this horse. I know he's very excited about him, and he's drives like I've never really trained him to see how much he could trot at home, so we're just more or less finding out as he goes how, because I mean he's a 2-year-old and I don't push him that much or anything, so I think he's just going to get better.
When you sit behind him, what is it you like about him?
Oh, he's good gaited, like and you know, I don't think he's ever even had the slightest slap of a whip or anything in a training mile or anything. He's never needed, like, if you ask him to go, he goes. If you want to slow him down, you can slow him down with 2 fingers. He's very easy. In fact, if you're training him, if you don't say anything to him, he's more apt to slow down than speed up. But if you speak to him, he's right there. He's not a bit lazy.
Right. And you were insightful enough to make him eligible for the Breeders' Crown at the end of the year.
Yes, I was, and I was sorry I didn't pay him up for the Hamiltonian too. That was a mistake. I think I would have liked to have had. But anyway, and I didn't want to race him too often as a 2-year-old, so I said, there's no point in. And the chance of being that good too is always fairly questionable too. And I'm not a big stable, and I'm not a rich man either. So I think, like, if he does well in these races I have him booked to, I'll be very happy. Very happy.
Well, John, congratulations on another terrific horse, and good luck in the days ahead.
Thank you very much.
This is Harold Howe with John Smith giving you the Harness Racing Edge.